Okie doke. Welcome to the jungle. Um, hmm, this is the tournament. I'm about to bring you a game, the first game from basically my break breakaway tournament from 2013, like almost 10 years ago. So I'm really excited. This is a game against Mike Johnson, one who I was very intimidated by because I believe that prior to this tournament he had only played in one or two events and like went undefeated or something. So it's just like, oh my God, like this guy is the real deal. He's in Division 2 with me, and maybe he's just too good. And anyways, so I sat down to play him with this idea of him being just like a beast, and that might have guided a few of my decisions. But I've already gone through this game, but I'm gonna show you guys what happens. So first move I exchanged IUUY, which is really nice. Keeping HET, that seems like the right idea. Mike followed by playing Cred, and I immediately saw the A hook, Acred, and I played this word Tecta, which I think I had just learned for 22. And there are a couple options here. Um, cheat, um, cheat and Tash. So cheat here and Tosh here. Apparently are slightly better than this in Quackle. Just mainly because they score 6 more points. But the HT leave is so much better than the TT leave. And I'm not even sure that this was a mistake. I like the play. Mike responds with J. And here's where where the thumbnail of the video comes in, where I think I probably erred. I think I almost definitely erred on my score sheet, which I actually don't have with me right now. Decided to do this video on the fly, but I wrote down right. So the word right plays right here. Sorry, that was not a pun. And also the word white. Those are just better than with. And the main issue with with is it takes an S hook, and I don't think I was sure of that. I definitely wrote it down on my score sheet alongside right. It's like it's with the word, and I should definitely not be playing this word if I'm not 100% on the S hook. So even if it were comparable to, say, right or white, which it is, it should not be played because I'm not aware of the hooks. But I was unsure of all the words in the position, so I had to go with something. So I played with. Mike plays pole. I go ahead and play armed, just scoring as much as I can. I don't think this play makes much sense. I think cedar you can score a little bit more. This is actually a really cool play. The armed seems best, even though it keeps it G. Mike plays of. I draw blank and I play gulag. So yeah, I drew a U and a G to my G, but I was able to play them off. And as comes down here, and this play was very interesting. To me, it definitely screamed that Mike had another S. I don't know if I even saw the sacred hook, but yeah, this can only be a good play if you're holding a second S. So I decide to make this play, which is potentially not so good, of Ku trying to block off the Gulag's spot. Problem with that is that Ku takes a lot of hooks itself. It does take an S hook, takes an F, it takes an L, it takes an N, it takes a T. So I'm not really blocking much here. And I'm actually giving a better lane to Mike. So Baiters comes down, and I respond with delanes, but I'm behind a tempo here. It's 179 and 169. Mike plays peg. I go ahead and play flab, which is a really good play. Keeps the X, scores well, blocks. Disaster bingos to this S. It keeps Ibex potentially for next turn, and potentially another X spot that would open up. Mike just drops his Q, I drop the X, keeping MINE blank, so I drew the second blank, and I'm feeling pretty good here. Mike plays Raj, and unfortunately I draw II to my MINE blank leave, so I was feeling good for a second, and then I had to play mine for 30, keeping II blank, which I think is the best play, but really not what I wanted for this turn. Mike plays and. Oh, by the way, Ox was a big mistake. I forgot to mention, I should have just played Remix. This is a very fishy play of Ox, so I honestly do deserve to have drawn II to it. But there's also this play of Minxes. Just ways to score more points here on this not very bingo friendly board. So, given that it's a tie game, Remix is by far the best play. This and Minxes, they're both like really good here. I prefer, yeah, I think I prefer Remix to Minxes for reasons I mentioned here. Yeah, so like if I play Minxes in this position, I'm ahead by 77. Mike plays down from the R. Now there are a couple threats. He can bingo from the M, he can bingo through the letters that he's opened up with the R. He could also make a play under here, which would create not as big of a threat, I guess. Potentially the 14th column if he plays where I played mine. So not really a fan of that potential scenario, but 76 points is 76 points. But I think Remix is the play here. The reason you'd play Minxes mainly is just to take out the S hook on with, which again is the common denominator in this game. So yeah, Raj comes down to play mine, plays and I played May, keeping HIIIR blank. So I'm actually not feeling so good here, suddenly, because I kept an I when I shouldn't have. But funny enough, Rikishi was added to the dictionary a year later than this game was played. So with Rikishi, I can actually bingo if I draw a K or one of the two S's next turn. Rikishi is probably how it's better pronounced. But without that word, I'm not bingoing at all next turn. So Mike plays Vino. And here I exchange IIU. I keep the H again. I exchanged twice this game, keeping an H. And unfortunately, this huge play just takes me by complete surprise. Or maybe I wasn't surprised, I don't remember. But now it's 361 to 295, and Mike is up full bingo. And now I need Swith to be a word. So I can play thirds for 44, but that's probably not going to get me the win. It'll bring me close. I'll be down 22 points with the blank, with one in the bag. But unless Mike has absolute junk, I think he might just be able to win by a little bit after thirds. But it's definitely a play to consider. Instead, I played her at G10, which is a weird play, but I was very desperate to leave the Swith hook open and create another threat. So this threat is not very good, but having a bingo from 13E to 13L was my idea. There's also, I guess, the possibility of bingo from the R. This is before GI was a word, I think, right? Oh no, GI was a... Wait, no. GI was not a word. Let me fix this. Keep on having to change the lexica that I'm using because I find all these old games. But it seems like GI was a word in 2013. I don't remember. Anyways, I play her, creating another threat, and then unfortunately Mike basically has the nuts. This is like the best possible play I think that he could have of Zowie. And again, he hammers me with that, and now I'm down 109. But I get visited for 103, so I thought that maybe I could have a chance of stealing this, but no, Mike has a bunch of wins here, even though he has 2 U's. He plays Trek, which is by no means his best play, but it gets the job done. I play Hero, and I lose by 6 points. And honestly, when I looked over this game, I didn't remember losing it. Like I had a good tournament at the 2013 Nationals, so I don't actually remember losing this particular game. I thought I had beaten Mike, but totally wrong. Usually this doesn't happen where I just misremember the result of a game. But yeah, Sunnier and then Zowie basically did me in, and this whole idea of with taking an S, I don't think I was sure of for the entirety of the game, and that probably guided or misguided me. But I ended up using the hook, and had he challenged, maybe I would have won the game. But in this position, the only way you can lose is if you challenge and you're wrong, or you pass your turn. So even if Mike hated the word Swith, he wouldn't have challenged. But anyways, this was the first game of 31 of the 2013 National Championship. And I have a few more games that I haven't looked at, most of which I've found. There are a couple I still haven't found in my pile of old score sheets. So I'm looking forward to bringing you other games from the tournament. I think I have round one, followed by round two, and we're gonna have a good time uncovering these unfinished games. So yeah, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time. Final score 423, 431.